Well, welcome back to my listeners. I'm your host, Ben Iiames, exploring the depths of healthcare. Today, we have a very special guest. Maya is actually a business owner in the veterinarian space, but that's a very broad and generalistic way of saying she has a passion for what she's doing. But I'll let her introduce herself and describe exactly what she does and why she does it.
Awesome. Well, first of all, Ben, thank you so much for having me. So yeah, I'm Maya Shaposhnik Cadena. I started a company called Vetted Pet Health, and we've pivoted the company a couple times now to really find product market fit and really give a solution that empowers pet parents from home to
Okay.
give the highest standard of care to their pets.
Nice.
Yeah, so really what it is now is it's a mobile app that you can use as a pet parent from home. And
Mhm.
since you're already spoiling your pet, you might as well get rewarded for it. So you log in your dog walks, your playtime, your fetch, the food, your food routine, etc. And for
Mhm.
all those things, you get care coins and you get to use the care coins to compete on a leaderboard with either your friends and family or the greater community.
Oh,
And then you
cool.
can use those care coins to either buy yourself a coffee or pay less for your dog food every month.
Super cool. And this has to be something that, I mean, there's been a trend already in the past, I would say 15 years or so, of people really spoiling their pets already, but this just gives an avenue to pay back is what I'm hearing, right?
Exactly. I mean, the cost of like healthcare is just so insane for your pet. Just the day to day, like even if you give your pet any supplements, you're looking at $30 to $60 a month. For the supplements, you have pet insurance, you're looking at 100 to 250 a month. Like, and it
Hmm.
just racks up and up and up. And so we really came at it from the angle of like, okay, there is a financial question here because our salaries aren't going up. Like, obviously, economy is rough and everything. And so even if your salary is going up for inflation, but if vet care costs and pet care costs are going up 10% a year, you're
Mm,
just going to get to the place where you're not going to be able to really afford the care. And so
yeah.
we decided that we were going to come up with a model that really benefits you as a pet parent for already being such a great pet parent. And hopefully on that journey, we can teach you more. We can empower you more. You can do more things with always the benefit of getting rewarded.
And I mean, that sounds amazing. Eh, how do you guys kind of work around, or how did you kind of attack that angle of cutting down the cost for, we'll say the consumer or the user at this point, whatever your terminology is?
Yeah. So, okay. So we thought about it like, what's something that every pet parent does every single day? Right. And it's actually a really crucial thing that you should do for your pet because it's really healthy for them. And honestly, it's also healthy for you. Dog
Oh,
walking. Right?
totally.
Like, you
Easy.
walk your dog and you're if you're not doing it 3 times a day because maybe you have a yard or someone else is helping you, etcetera, at least once a day you're walking your dog. And you're getting that exercise and your pet's getting that exercise. And you're also having that bonding time with them. So we said, "You know what? Like, we looked at Strava and we were so amazed with Strava. A lot of us use it as
Yeah.
millennials,
Yeah.
and we're like, it logs in your exercise. It shows you how long you're doing. It shows you also when you're the best, when you're the longest, the fastest, etc. What if we did something similar like that for the dog walking?
Hmm.
And we really incentivized you to do more and more and more. And so that's we actually started the app is like focusing more on dog walking and
Hmm.
just logging it in and your friends see it and they post. And if you go on hikes with your dog, you could do the same exact thing. You could put pictures of the hike that you had and the
Oh,
views you
cool.
had together and your friends would see. And then you get those care coins constantly. And so the care coins is basically a method to say, okay, you're already doing this. And if
Hmm.
you're really doing it consistently, it will pay off. Like, you will be able to lower the cost of pet care. But we
Hmm.
didn't want to just limit it to pet care because I think as a pet parent, like, yes, you're taking care of your pet, but sometimes you want to also spoil yourself. So
Sure.
we thought about it as like, if you're doing the dog walks, you're using shoes, right? Like, you're on a
Hmm.
walk, but you're using your walking shoes or your hiking shoes.
Hmm.
What if we partnered with Nike or Hoka, right? And we told them, why don't you incentivize the pet parent and tell them if they walk this month 5, 10 miles more or faster or longer, whatever you want to incentivize them to do, you will give them $25 off in their next purchase,
Oh,
right?
really cool.
Exactly. So we thought about it not just for the cost of pet care, but also in something that would spoil the pet parent.
Totally. That's super cool. I think, and so what I'm hearing is you've been reaching out to different kind of supporters in that sense, or kind of to incentive, like to provide those incentives for pet
Mhm.
parents?
Yeah, we have a marketplace because you rack up all these care coins, and
Oh,
what do you do
cool.
with it?
Yeah.
So we have a marketplace that allows you to say, "Okay, you know what? Like, I'm gonna buy dog food from Petco or PetSmart, and I'm gonna pay 50
Mhm.
bucks less this month. Great. Or I'm gonna go to Starbucks and buy myself a coffee, or I'm gonna buy myself a new pair of Nikes because I won this sponsored challenge, and now
Yeah.
I buy myself these Nike shoes."
Oh, it's perfect. Is your app something similar to, I mean, could you integrate it also with Strava? I mean, because, people always want to, if it doesn't happen on Strava, it doesn't happen.
Exactly, and I'm so happy you asked that. So, um, the answer is yes, and Strava is really amazing that they have an open API, so we
Hmm.
can actually connect to them, and, like, when you log in your dog walk, you can then get credit on it or your dog hike, especially for those avid dog hike, like, companions that are doing, like, 8-hour hikes, with their
Oh my
shepherd or
gosh.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that you don't wanna lose on your Strava board, like, you
Right.
definitely want that?
Yeah. You want to be a segment leader on that.
Exactly. So we in our product roadmap, we see ourselves integrating not only with Strava, but with your smartwatch or
Hmm.
with your monitor, or different things like that, with maybe you're wearing an Aura ring or a Whoop or things like that. So we
Yeah.
definitely see ourselves going more into that and cross sharing the information and the
Yeah.
data. But I would say, like, if when people ask me, like, what's a vetted comparable in the app space, I tell them that it's Duolingo and Strava had a baby in pet care.
I like that.
And that's how we came up with vetted, because there is the activity and health and lifestyle part of Strava that are we really look up to them in so many of our features
Hmm.
and how we built them, but
Yeah.
there's the extreme education side of the app, right? Which allows you to go as deep as you want. Like,
Hmm.
if you're like, "Listen, I, for example, have a French bulldog and they have a lot of health conditions." So for me, it's like, "Okay, what should I know about? What should I look for my pet at home? And
Hmm.
how can you prevent some of those hip issues that I
Right.
know that those Frenchies get really bad hip, they're prone to those hip injuries."
Right.
And so the app will give you that education in a very easy, simple, digestible way, and then I
Hmm.
get all these care coins constantly for reading, for doing quizzes, trivias,
Oh,
watching
cool.
videos. So yeah.
And that's super cool. I love how you guys are progressing in that way. Now, how technical question, just based on that, you mentioned that it gives you that information if you're curious, like for instance, we have a great Pyrenees mix. If I was to get vetted health and to say, hey, I'm curious about, what we need for him, what his activity level needs, how much should we require? Are you sourcing that from a specific vet source or just like an AI source of information? Like, what are you using?
It's a great question. So it also will give you now some perspective on Vetted 2.0, which was our model from last year. So Vetted pivoted a few times, and I'm happy to talk to you about, like, entrepreneurship and product market fit and how you
Jump
have to
in.
pivot, yeah. But I'll share, like, a 30,000-foot view of it. When we
Sure.
started the app, we actually started as a telehealth veterinary platform
Cool.
as our first product, and we thought we were brilliant, just nobody was doing it, and we had all these vets and technicians on the app, and, like, we released the app, and, like, for 3 months, we were having growth, and, like, people were
Hmm.
downloading and paying, and then 3 months into the product launch, all the big players did it for free. Yeah, like, terrible, terrible, like, as
Oh,
you're just, like, sitting there and you're like, "No, no,
you're like,
no."
this was working.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my god, like, I already built this app, I already got investors, like, how am I gonna compete against the giants?" Like,
Hmm.
so small, like, there's no way. I mean, Chewy was doing it for free for all of their members, 24/7 telehealth support for anybody who's using Chewy, and Lemonade Pet Insurance, all
Yep.
of a sudden added it to their insurance for free. Walmart literally was doing it.
What?
Yeah, if you had Walmart Plus, you could speak with a vet 24/7.
What in the
And
world?
I was just like, "Okay, this is not gonna work.
Yeah.
I'm basically gonna have to pivot." So we actually pivoted the business to having, like, these mini vet clinics inside of dog daycare centers.
Okay.
So we basically would take, like, a spot in the lobby, we would convert that dead lobby space into a one-room vet clinic that
Wow.
we didn't do surgeries or anything, but we did all your primary care,
Yeah.
and then you would come in, you would have your appointment, it would be amazing because your dog already knew the boarding, grooming, daycare center, like, they loved going there, they didn't associate it with a vet's office.
Right.
They would have their appointment, go play after, and then the pet parent would usually buy our digital membership after.
Ah, I
Um,
see.
So we kind of merged 2 things together, right?
Yeah.
And when we had those vet clinics, one of the things we did was we just created a tremendous amount of content on like what you need to be doing for your pet based on age, breed, lifestyle, and the region that you live in, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
those were like the 4 different like filter criteria. And
Sure.
then we would personalize things in the app for based on age, breed, lifestyle, and region. And so we already had more of like the Duolingo side built out, but we didn't have the deep gamification and
Hmm.
rewards. More like kind of, I don't want to say the word dry, but sometimes
There's a
in
more
health,
surface level, we'll say.
yeah, like healthcare can feel very like transactional almost or compliance, like very serious, right?
Yeah.
And like it had more of that facade, but it did. But when we decided to pivot into like pure D2C, pure digital play, and deep gamification and rewards, we're like, it can't be like that. You can't feel as a person that you log into the app and it's traumatizing, or you
Mm.
can't feel like, oh, a to-do list with 50 things, like
Right.
I don't wanna do this, like, I have a million things in my life already.
Yeah.
And so we looked at Duolingo and we're like, they're so brilliant because they took a language, learning a new language, and they
Hmm.
just gamified it, every aspect of it,
Yeah.
to the point where it's simple, it's easy, and you can do it small every single day, something small.
5 minutes. Yep.
Exactly. And so that's what we set out to do. And so the content that we have on the app and the way that we customize based on that on your breed, on the age, lifestyle and region is something we already had built in the previous version of our
Hmm.
business. So we really just moved it over to this next version and all the content is vet content, right? So
Hmm.
it's either written by veterinarians or vet technicians that have been
Okay.
in the space for a long time.
Okay. Gotcha. And so you source it from them to kind of produce all of that on I should say, in the development.
Exactly, and it will get only more personalized. So,
Sure.
for example, when you go in now, like, it's a little more broad and general. Right now, it's only filtering based on age and the size of the breed rather than, like, your specific breed, but the size.
Age and
Yeah,
size.
for
Okay.
right now. But the future, like what we have in the roadmap, is that if you go in and you tell me that you have a Great Pyrenees mix, it will and potentially what the other mix is, it will already tell you like these are issues that are statistically prone in your breed
Mm.
and in your age and in your
Hmm.
reach. And here we're going to break it down for you into categories. Every day you just do a little bit and you check, coins, 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 and you're learning. And then you're
Yeah.
feeling like, you know what? I actually know what to do. I'm not oblivious to this world. I'm actually really educated on it.
Yeah, you're empowering ownership. I mean, when you love obviously we I say we. I'm assuming you also own your own pets. That's why you
Yeah, of
started
course.
this. You
Of
didn't tell
course.
me that yet, but I'm
My
assuming.
Frenchie, my delicious
The
Frenchie.
Frenchie, that's right. That's right. But we own these pets because of the companionship and because we enjoy their company but sometimes when you just jump in blind, you're like, "Hey, I see people with this certain breed and they seem to have fun. So I want that." And so you get it and then you're like, "Well, I don't know anything about this breed." So you're just googling everything. And Google has so many different things to think about, or you talk to a person and they're like, "Well, I had this experience," and you're like, "Well, that's not really what I'm having with my breed and my dog." And you're like, "Well, who do I go to?" And so it sounds like you're trying to become that source of where to go to, but also incentivizing it for people to not make them feel like it's a task, but they actually can enjoy it.
Exactly, and hence the name Vetted,
Yeah.
because we wanted something vetted. Like,
Yep.
there's a double meaning to our name,
Love
where
it.
we will be the source, right? Where pet parents will say, for all at-home things, like, there's the veterinarian I go to once a year, great, but for all at home, that's where Vetted. That's the
Yep.
vet domain, right? And
Hmm.
I trust Vetted because they're making sure that everything is vetted through veterinarian teams,
No, it's
right?
so good.
Yeah. So, like, that's why we were so excited by the name, and, we also wanted to have a name that was, more open to not just being for dogs,
Totally.
because we do see ourselves one day going into the cat world. I think from the cat market perspective, almost the education is so lacking, and
Right.
unfortunately, cats are really neglected, like, in the space,
Yeah.
because it's like it's so run by dogs, like,
Yep.
everything is like the dog food, the dog this, the dog collars, but I
Hmm.
think that, more and more people have cats and want and need to really take care of them and live as long as possible with them with a good quality life is there. And so we
Totally.
will expand to cat care too.
How soon do you see that coming into play?
I would say 2 years. And I give myself that time frame because there's like a philosophical question, right? When you have limited resources in a company, like we really want to be excellent, like
Sure.
in the dog care category, right? So I wouldn't want to, be good enough and then
Yep.
bring pet care on. I would prefer that we really like master this area and like really, really go as deep as we can with the pet parent, do that personalization. And we have a lot of AI tools in the app, which are really cool that you can actually scan your pet from home and it tells you things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I can tell you, but your listeners are gonna laugh. So one of the tools we have, and it's actually one of the most used tools, is called Doctor Poop. I know it. With
Yeah.
the poop emoji, like, immediately say it and everyone sees the poop emoji.
Yep.
But, basically, it's like the idea of, like, you walk your dog, you're picking up number 2 anyways,
Yep.
and you always know what it looks like. And when it doesn't look good, it's like, "Oh, like, which direction is this going in? Like, is this
Mhm.
get really bad or is it just a one-time thing?" So instead of you, like, panicking or taking pictures in your phone and saving it in your phone, which is gross,
Yeah.
right? Like, you now can just take a picture on the app and Dr. Poop scans it and tells you based it has tens of thousands of images and it's all been created by a team of veterinarians that actually did the
Wow.
learning tools. Yeah. It tells you red, yellow, green. Like red means we identified something. We're not going to diagnose and prescribe because we're not going to go into telemedicine,
Sure, sure, sure.
but we identified. So sometimes it will identify roundworm, hookworm, things that are very obvious to the naked eye, and it will tell you, like, "We identified you need to see a vet in the next 24 to X hours." Like, it will
Sure.
give you a range, and then if it doesn't if the app is still, like, identifying how crucial it is, it will be yellow, and it will tell you, "We need more images so we can give you info." And if it's good to go, it's green and it says, "Just keep walking, you're good to go."
That's
So
so cool. And
so
it's what I love is that you're using like the AI technology very responsibly
Mhm,
because it's learned what like it learns from exposure. And so if you have 10,000, 100,000
mhm.
pictures, it's like I can learn from this previous episode a couple different times to be able to even be more accurate in the future.
Exactly. Now Dr. Poop, like, we don't release any tools until they hit 95% accuracy.
Sure.
So test, 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 and, like, think about the veterinarians that sat there looking at 13,000 images of poop. Like, they really need to get a medal, like, if you
They
ask me,
do.
you know?
We can just give the healthcare medal out just for people like that. Yeah. What now? Tell me the response from obviously from the vets that you vetted this through. I mean, it sounds great from every perspective that I'm hearing so far, but obviously it's all about the specialist. How do they back you up?
Yeah, I think so. I would say yes. I think it's not everyone, right? Like some veterinarians might be more, they have more like fears around technology and change and like what that means. So
Hmm.
there are a group of vets that I'm sure would be like, no, no, we don't want to hear about any new technologies, like almost inundated with new information and change. So I'd say that's one group, but I think that's the minority of the veterinarian base, and then there's the veterinarian that understands how much pressure the system's under. Like, there is a demand and supply problem in
Mm,
animal care. Like, they've been saying it for years, and yes, maybe now it's, like, a little more balanced than it was during COVID, which was out of control, that
yeah.
you can get a vet appointment for 3 months, or, like, you
Right.
would just wait and wait for an appointment. But it's not just that, it's the financial aspect of it. Like,
Totally.
you can't expect people to pay $300 to $500 for a sick checkup. You just can't. Like, people can't afford that. And
Hmm.
so I think that having this as a medium, right, which is veterinarian created machine learning tool that was vetted literally by the vets and built by them and now is in the hand of the pet parent and at least can tell them when they should go and spend that money
Sure.
because
Sure.
something's wrong rather
It's like a
than like
screening tool in a way, right?
it's
Yeah.
exactly that. I like to think about it like if you've downloaded any of the plant care apps,
Hmm.
I really, like,
Are
see
you a
it.
plant mom too?
I am, but
Yeah.
not as crazy as a pet mom, like, me pets are my thing, but I definitely get a lot of, I have a lot of respect for the plant care apps because I download them and I try to learn
Yeah.
how they approach it, right? And I see that they always start with a scan. Immediately,
Hmm.
you scan your plant, and we'll tell you what's wrong. Right? We'll
Wow.
tell you if there's too much water, it's too much sun, if it's not in the right location in the home, like, they have different solutions, and then you do trial and error and you see what really works.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that's really missing in animal care. There is no trusted platform. Like, I
Mm-mm.
was already on Reddit and Facebook for a long time, and it drove me crazy. I literally was like, I didn't know what was credible and what wasn't credible in any way. Like, people were telling me crazy things like, give them, a garlic clove if they're
Oh
sick.
my
I'm
gosh.
like, garlic? I don't think I should feed my dog garlic.
Everybody has their opinion, but nobody's really a specialist.
Exactly. So I think from that perspective, veterinarians are really happy. And
Hmm.
then on the education side, they're thrilled, right?
Yeah.
Because on the education side, they've just been, please educate people, because then
Yep.
they're coming to us upset and they're saying to us, like, how could you not catch this? And I'm like, you only come to me once a year when something's wrong. Like, how am I supposed to catch it?
Hmm.
Also, veterinarians have a really big pain point with what they call compliance, which
Totally.
is what you should be doing from home. And there are just so many people think it's a lot, but it's not. There's so many small things you can do. Like, there are certain breeds that they have, like, they cannot ingest a lot of air. A
Hmm.
lot of people don't know this, but when they eat food, they ingest a tremendous amount of air, and it basically creates a problem in their stomach, which is, it's a problem that is very deadly. Like, if it
Wow.
happens, they can die within, I believe it can be an hour, couple hours. Like, you need
Oh
to
my gosh.
yeah. It's called bloat is the name, and you might
Yeah.
have it happens with poodles. Certain breeds, they have this issue. And
Yeah.
for example, like Great Danes, they're very
Mm.
prone to this. So what's the quick fix? That fix, it's like, it's so incredibly accurate that it's scary, is that they should not ever eat from a plate on the floor. They
They
should
gotta eat.
always eat from, exactly.
Yeah.
They should eat from the closest that they're not bending their head down and ingesting air. That
Wow.
is the quickest fix you can think of, and you could spend $10,000 at the ER for bloat, and your pet
Oh
could
yeah.
be
That's
small,
crazy.
small change, right?
But it's little changes like that not only are going to cut down costs for the consumer, right? I mean, obviously that's first thing on our mind. Inflation's up, rising pet costs. It's not getting any cheaper. But using this as a screening tool so that you can kind of do all the things on your own to live a healthy lifestyle and to lead your pet into a healthy lifestyle prevents all the things. I mean, this is just because my medical brain is spinning based
Mhm,
on this. I mean, this is everything that we teach when we say, hey, a lot of these illnesses can be just lifestyle modifications. That's diet, exercise, routines of sleep. If you fix those, you can fix this medical issue. We
mhm,
don't have to do medications.
mhm.
And so the things you're talking about has me kind of spinning in that way too, of thinking that way.
Yeah, I mean, my passion for it definitely came from the human space, right? Like,
Yeah.
I was looking at my dog when I got my dog Shore. I was looking at him and I was like looking at his teeth, and I was like, whoa, like his teeth kind of look like my teeth. And then I was like, what happens if something gets stuck in his tooth? He doesn't have a thumb. Like, there's no
Can't
tooth.
pick it out.
No. And I was like, oh my gosh, it could get stuck there for a year until he saw the vet.
Yep. And then
And
you
I
have
was
to pull the teeth out because,
exactly. And then I was like, this is just common sense. Like,
mm-hmm.
how did no one think about this? And then I would talk to the vet and they're like, yeah, we've been trying to tell people to brush their dog's teeth 3 times a week, even. Like, they will prevent so many things. Their dogs
Oh
could
my
actually, there's
gosh.
science that proves that if you do dental care at least 3 times a week, which is basically just brushing their teeth for 30 seconds to a minute, they will live a third longer.
Oh my gosh.
Right? And, like, we're already brushing our teeth. So my mom, when I told her this, she laughed at me. And but I obviously over the years, like, she keeps hearing the same sound bites. So
Yeah.
I now notice when she watches Shore for me, if I'm traveling at, like, internationally or something, she'll watch him and she puts him on the counter while she's brushing her teeth. She puts him there and then she brushes his teeth. And he just sits there with his mouth open. And everyone's like, How is, I'm like, because I do it since he's a puppy. Like, I know
Yep.
he's so used to it already. It's a part of it's like our thing that we do
It's a
together.
routine.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's fun and it's easy and it's funny, like,
Yeah.
there's all the good things that come with it, but
Yeah.
so that's
There's
what we're
just, it seems like you guys are just like, do you have this desire to become kind of the go-to encyclopedia in a sense, or like just helpful resource for dog owners and hopefully for other breeds in the future?
we definitely wanna own the category of at-home care.
Sure.
So, when someone thinks about what they're doing at home in between vet visits or anything, they would think immediately about vetted. Like, oh, I should check at vetted, right? That's what we want to focus on. I would say though that our goal, like as an app, is to build habits. We're a
Yeah.
habit building app, right?
Yeah.
So that is our number one goal. And how do we do that? We try to do that with the things you're already doing,
Right.
right? So like
It's an
it's more
integration.
exactly. Like you're already walking your dog, get
Yep.
credit for it.
Yep.
Now maybe let's push you to walk a little more, right?
Sure.
Now
Sure.
let's maybe get you to read this one article about your dog breed or about something going on in your region. Now
Yeah.
maybe we do a trivia where you're racing your friends on the trivia to see who knows better about this breed or this, whatever it is. Like
Yeah.
we try to like make it fun and engaging, but the whole thing is like you're learning in the process.
Totally. Man, I love that. You're empowering these dog owners all across the country, across the world, maybe? Are we doing it worldwide?
We're gonna be global. I mean, there's no reason not to be global for us.
That's what I was going to figure.
Yeah, but we're focused in the United States right now. Like I said, it's a resource thing, right? So like
Sure.
you want to spend on acquisition, you want to build communities, you start with like one area. But I see ourselves easily going to other English speaking countries because the app will already be built for it and it's very easy to do.
Sure.
And then hopefully one day like it's in whatever language you choose.
Oh, that's so cool. I love your dreams. Now, let's pivot a little bit based on that. I mean, you've been kind of talking about the business development aspect. Obviously, your business has had a lot of pivots to get to this point.
Mhm.
Do you feel obviously you have to be very flexible as an entrepreneur, but do you see this kind of continuing to grow? Have you seen good growth so far? What are the things that are really helping you guys to grow? What are hindering your growth? Kind of go into that world a little bit.
Yeah, so yes, you have to be very agile. That is a fact.
You
And
already have been.
it's painful. I don't want people to think it's easy. It's extremely painful to do
Yeah.
pivot. You have to let go of people that are excellent. Like
Oh,
there's no reason to let go of them, but all of a sudden you don't own medical practices.
yeah.
It's like it's tough conversations and it takes a lot of courage because you take something and you turn it off and you start
Right.
something completely new. So I
Right.
will just say that about pivots in general. But the second thing I wanted to say was that we actually, with this pivot, we actually bought a company in the United Kingdom
Hmm.
called Doggies. So we found this company and we loved what they built.
Mhm.
And we knew that they needed help like with growth and scale and management. And so they were more doing like Strava, like they were really focused on the walk
Yeah.
component of it and the doctor poop component. That was like their two features and they were in the market there. And
Yeah.
they had like, tens of thousands of users on their app, like over 50,000 users, I
Oh,
believe.
okay.
Yeah, they had traction and they had really good revenue coming in from the B2B partners and also in-app subscriptions. And so we basically when we bought them, we bought all of their technical assets.
Hmm.
So we bought all the tech stack, everything, and we integrated it into the educational side of the app that we already built and the more like personalized side of the app we built.
Yeah.
And we merged those two together. So we bought them in the end of January. We closed all the clinics in March.
Okay.
And then in 3.5 months, we merged all the technical assets together. And then mid August, we launched the app in the United States.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a lot of work this year.
it's a lot of work. Yes.
And we're just starting what Q4 is just about right around the corner.
Exactly. So the app's been out for a month and it already has thousands of users and our acquisition costs have been really good. People responding really well to the message, which
Hmm.
is you're already spoiling your dog, you might as well get rewarded for it. You're already walking your dog, you might as well
Yeah.
get rewarded for it. So we're really focusing on the reward side and I think the next phase now is to focus more on the competition side.
Yeah.
Like competing with your fellow friends and family members. So there's still a lot. And then we didn't even push out the Dr. Poop tool. Like now we're going to be now focusing more on features and the value
Yeah.
proposition that feature brings you, like what problem it's solving for you in a
Right.
very specific moment. So yeah, I would say that by buying a company that we saw product market fit in, that we saw that they had users, engagement, and revenue, which is like the three main
Yeah.
pillars of an app, like being
Yep.
successful. We said, okay, we know that the company is doing well. Yes, it's the UK, it's not the US. So
Sure.
it's a little bit of a different consumer, but they're the closest to us.
Right.
So we were like, it's enough for us to have confidence in bringing it to the US market. And then we said, okay, and we now have like acquisition channels to be able to start acquiring users. And we see that they're using the app and it's higher engagement than the
Hmm.
traditional lifestyle app metrics.
Hmm.
So far, we feel really good with the turnout. And now it's just like continuing to test and continuing to
Yep.
grow and see like what's really going to be like the big boom, you know?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like you guys are primed for the takeoff in a sense. Is that how it feels from your perspective?
Yes, it does feel like that, and from the last 2 pivots, I can already tell you, like, the traction here and the ease of gaining a customer and having them
Mm,
stay is way better than what we had in the first version of our company, so I'm already and maybe that was because the first version was pure healthcare, and
sure.
this isn't. This is lifestyle, like, this
Sure.
is fun, you know?
It's more fun. Yeah.
It's fun
No
for
one
the
no one goes into healthcare for fun.
Yeah, like, nobody downloads a healthcare app and says, like, "This is gonna be so fun," you know?
Right.
But with us right now, it's just fun, like, people are enjoying, they're, like, playing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're having fun with everybody loves competition. When you have healthy competition, like everyone's having a good time.
Yeah, that's
It's a
actually
conversation starter even. That bonds people a little bit more even.
so, actually, one of the features I'll give you some, like, behind the scenes, like,
Yeah.
info. So, one of the features we're releasing, I believe it's in either 1 or 2 weeks on the app, is that you can create your own leaderboard. So, you can basically create it with your own friends and family.
Oh,
Like,
I
you can
love that.
invite them because right now it's the general app, like, the general users, and
Yeah.
so you don't know them, but
Right.
you're racing someone who's 5 points above you, right? Like, you're trying
Sure.
to get 1st, 2nd, 3rd place, but we thought about it like, we think it will be really exciting if you know them and they're your friends or family, and now, like, they're calling you and they're like, "You're so lazy, you didn't walk your dog, I saw on the app." Like,
It's
take
been a
them
week. What are you doing?
exactly. And
Yeah.
then, just stuff like that, so we're really excited about that too.
I love the idea of saying I can't remember if Strava has groups like that. Obviously, you have your community that you can connect with and kind of see what they're doing and what
Mhm.
segments that they're doing. But it would be really cool to say, here's my group of trail running friends
Exactly.
that all have dogs, and you can say, man, they got 6 miles this week. They went on two separate runs. We got to get like 10. You
Exact
know, and it pushes them, get the dog out. And it's kind of cool. You could do a community group, you could do a trail running group, you could do your family, and kind of keep checking in kind of all across and all around.
Yeah, so the ones that we were inspired by who did this was actually Whoop. So
Yeah.
they do it. They allow you to do, like, leaderboards, and then you can see recovery time, workout time, sleep time, and so one of our advisors, I believe, when we were thinking about product features and build out, was saying how him and his friends are in the Whoop group and
Hmm.
how they write each other, and they're like, "You're so lazy, like, you didn't work out today, like, I saw on the" and
Yep.
then they pushes them. They're like, "Okay, I'm going. Like, I don't care, 11 at night, I'm going," you know?
Yep.
And so he mentioned that to us, and we're like, "Wow, that's actually a great idea." I think, like, if we could make the leaderboard personalized,
Oh yeah.
people would just push themselves even more, and also refer, right? It creates a retention
Yeah.
flywheel because now you're getting, like, friends, family, and they have to use the app in order to play and to be on top. So it's like a loop, right?
It's a self-building. Yeah. 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 It's an organic kind of growth rather than a
Exactly.
big marketing push and marketing campaign growth. It's like I mean, that's the most organic way to do it, is to get one person to inspire one other person and then kind of catch fire from there.
Exactly.
Dang, that's so cool. Your product, Vetted kind of sounds similar to, are you familiar with Ibotta?
Mm-mm.
This is the grocery store app where you get rewarded for buying groceries through their app. So it's kind of like you're already doing it. You might as well get rewarded for it.
Mhm.
When you kept saying that, that's what I kept thinking of.
That's really in
And so, yeah, I think it's just super, super cool. What now? Everything sounds like it's just heading on this trajectory. There's obviously you've already overcome some pretty massive hurdles. What do you foresee in this next, like Q4 or 2026, that could potentially be, or that are already roadblocks that you're seeing?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, I would say the thing that keeps me up at night the most is, like, the fundraising side of the business just
Yeah.
because the markets are so bad. And again, a lot of, like, investors will say this, like, I'm always on investor calls, I never stop, I consistently
You
have.
have to be.
Yeah, and I had, like, a couple yesterday even, and they were like, "You know, this is potentially the bottom of the market for the last 4 years, and, like, if you're gonna be raising," and it was like doomsday, you know?
Right.
And I basically like, obviously I listened, but I was like, "I'm not gonna let it penetrate, like, my brain," like, because I can't control that, and I'm not gonna try to control something I can't control.
Right.
I can only do my best.
Yeah, to
That's
keep innovating and growing.
exactly. I can do my best. I can try to win the heart of the consumer, that
Yeah.
they can see that I'm building this company because I'm one of them, and I
Right.
want to have a better solution in a place that I believe is completely archaic and needs revolution in general.
Totally.
And, like, hopefully the user will say, "You know what? Like, this is a great business and this is a great app, and hey, I actually want you to build things for me. These are the things I want you to build for me. Can you?" And we'll listen. Like, we love
Yeah.
listening. I try to people write me on LinkedIn and they're always like, "By the way, I download the app and here's some feedback I have." And I write every single person that writes me, I respond. Even if it takes me like 5 days or a week,
Sure.
I respond and I copy it and send it to the development team.
Love
And
it.
I'm like, "Here you go. Like, this is a user. Look at what they're telling us."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, wow, that's really," I'm like, "You see, we need to talk to users all the time because
Totally.
we're building for them, right? Like, this is our
Yep.
mission." So, as long as I really truly believe that as long as I can get the mission across to fellow pet parents and I bring value to them, that even if the market sucks, like, I'm gonna find a way around it. Like,
Yeah.
there's always a way to do it, and even if the odds are against me, whatever, all it takes is one. Like, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. So I'd say the fundraising aspect, just because next year is gonna require us to raise a significant round, like,
Sure.
if we wanna do a Series A round, it's probably gonna be in the double digits, and it's
Right.
gonna and it's VC round, it's an institutional round, so obviously seeing the markets and the inflation and the
Right.
employment fears that everyone's having and all that news is
Right.
not ideal, but I'm like, "It doesn't matter." Like, this is the world we live in. We have a
Yeah.
company, we have a product, people are using it, and life goes on. Like, you just go
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah. And I think you believe, from what I'm hearing, you believe in yourself and you believe in your product so much that it's not really the product per se. You're not just like, oh, it's this product or die. It's no, I want people to have like this role filled in their life that has not been present. Like it's just a passion that you have. And
Yeah.
this is empowering the people around this country so far. I mean, do you know the stats on how many people own a dog in the
Oh,
US right now?
I mean, it's 117 million households have a dog right
Which
now.
is out of what, 350 million?
Yeah, about 360. It's a third.
Yeah, 360. So you look at like a third,
Yeah,
maybe even
there's
more.
360 million people. This is households. So it's even
Right.
more, right? Because like a household can have like 3 people, right? So
Yep.
you have the majority of the country has a pet,
Right.
has a dog, and
Yeah.
and then cats just shoots it up.
Oh,
I
it
would
shoots it up. Yeah, majority.
our target audience, from at least what we've seen in the last month, is millennial and Gen Z, right?
Yeah.
Like that they're using the app, and I think it makes sense, right? Like if you're already digitally savvy, you're using Strava, you're using
Yep.
Duolingo, you're using other apps to measure like your life and your this and your all this stuff, then it just becomes an easy yes to download the app and use it. So when we looked at the numbers and we looked at, okay, how many Gen Z and millennial pet parents do we have that have a dog? It was 50 million. So
Oh my
it's
gosh.
a huge
That's huge.
audience, yeah.
Lots of people you can reach out to. I'm hoping that, I mean, the reason that way I interview people on the podcast, that my listeners will be very aware of this, but most of the time we get to this point and I just want to highlight your point, but it comes to a fact of here's Maya. She's trying to help people. She's trying to empower people. She's trying to do good. And that's what I just pass on to my listeners to hopefully pass on to more people as well. And it's really admirable. I just want to highlight you and encourage you, like, keep going. I mean, I don't
Thank you.
want you to stop because your mission is so, I mean, it comes from your heart. It comes from your own experience. That's the most authentic mission you can do, right?
Absolutely. And I get this question in a few ways. Like, first, I have a LinkedIn post from probably last week, maybe the week before, and it says like this: lesson of the week, keep going. That's it. That's it. That's literally what I wrote. So when you said keep going, I'm like, yes, I'm with you. And I literally wrote that a week ago. Bec-
Man.
because people will give me every single reason that I
Yeah.
shouldn't do this,
Yep.
right? Like, I went to business school and my class, I went to a good business school. Almost everyone's getting paid so much money after
Right.
business. And my friends are like, Maya, like, you're getting paid the same that you got paid 10 years ago before business school.
Right.
Like, don't you want to make money, And I'm like,
Sure.
yeah, it would be nice to make money. And I hope that Vetted does well. And one day I do make money. But
Sure.
that's not my driver. My driver is impact.
Right.
I can't help it. I'm just built this way, right? And then I get questions from investors, right? Investors are like, "What's your exit strategy? Like where do you see the business going? Like do you see an acquisition? Do you see an IPO?" Like they're taking me there and I'm like, "I get why they're doing this because they're trying to."
That's what they're trained to do.
Yeah, their brain is multiples, right? They're like,
Yep.
"What how much should I multiply my investment by and how?"
ROI, ROI. That's all that matters.
And then I tell them the truth. I'm like, listen, I'll do what's best for the business. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. If all of a sudden a pet insurance company, let's say one of the largest in America,
Sure.
Trupanion, okay, comes to me and says, "You know what, Maya? We have, 10 million policies right now. We're going to make this a part of every policy and we're going to get it in there. And we're
Mhm.
going to do this and we're going to do that and we're going to get you exposure." Okay, I'll listen to that offer.
Sure.
But why am I listening to it? Because of the impact side. If all of a sudden I see that it's actually better for us to go across and just like bring partners in and grow the business and keep raising and grow and grow and grow. And then one day we have an IPO and we have 30 million app users and now we're going worldwide. I'm doing that route. So I don't have an
Mhm.
answer if I'm going to
Mhm.
have an exit of a merger and acquisition or if I'm going to have an IPO route. I just know that I'm going to try. My job is to get as
Mhm.
much impact as possible while I'm in the role of CEO. And I just will do everything in my power to get there as fast as I can and with
Yeah.
the stability that I can.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're fighting for it, you know? You're putting yourself out there. You're fighting not fighting the investors. You're pitching them, but from a very authentic standpoint.
Yeah, I prefer that because if I give them a different answer, I work with them. Like it's not going to
Yeah.
hold. They're just going
They'll
to,
know.
yeah, they'll know in a second. So I'm
Yeah.
honest. And if it's not a fit, it's not a fit. That's okay.
That's fine.
Right? Yeah, and I think that too. I do a little segue now, but, like, I think that too about when you hire people.
Mm.
Example, this morning I had an interview with a candidate for our head of product role, and on the interview, I think he came so prepared and, like, I could see he was taking notes and he had, like, a list of questions and all this stuff, and
Mhm.
I told him, I'm like, "I hope you know that you're gonna interview me today." Yeah, and I was like, I wanna know about you, let's start, tell me some things, don't give me the LinkedIn stuff, I've signed your LinkedIn, I saw your CV, give me something else.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm telling you now that you need to interview me because me and you are gonna work every day together,
Mhm.
and you need to be sure you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Because if I say, "Yes, you're the guy, I believe in you, you're coming, we're joining forces, okay,
Yep.
and we're gonna be co-partners in this whole thing," then all of a sudden you come and a month in, you're like, "Oh my gosh, her expectations and her her vision, I didn't know it was gonna be built like this, and where's the company and that." If that's all of a sudden, you're gonna leave. What's the
Yeah.
point?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
have to
If
interview
you're
me.
joining me, you're joining me for the long run.
Yeah, I was like, "Ask me anything you want. I'll tell you direct to your face,"
Yeah.
Like, ask me whatever, even if you think that it's not appropriate to ask me because, you're the CEO, blah, blah. I'm like, "No, no, no. We're gonna have to be sidekicks. Like, you
Yeah.
understand it's a startup.
This is how good teams work.
You have to trust your teammates.
Oh,
There's no
yeah.
way."
I love it. I love it. So, as we kind of round up and kind of tie this off, any kind of closing thoughts for the listeners of obviously they know to download Vetted. That's clear. We're going to make that very clear.
I would just say that if you have a passion to change something in healthcare, you should just do it. Just don't listen to anyone. It's all noise. They're not the founder, you are. And
Exactly.
the founder is the one that's the driver. And I have
Hmm.
my vision board here
I
on my
love it.
yeah, I have my vision board. Maybe I can show the user so they can
Hey,
see.
why not?
It's
Bring it
not
on.
pretty, but it doesn't matter. This is my vision board. It's kind of blurry, so you can't
It's a
see it.
little blurry, but you get the picture, you get the gist.
And actually, if I go closer, maybe no. Anyways, the middle picture is my head of marketing, who's like my right hand in the business. Her son made it. Her son
Oh,
sent
nice.
a picture, and it is a picture of me, which is kind of scary looking. So I hope he doesn't think I'm like a monster. It's a picture of me. He's like 5, so it's fine.
Yeah.
and it's with the fundraising amount we need on the top. And he drew it for me and she sent it to me in the mail. And I put it in the middle because I was like, this kid believes in me. He's 5.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
that's it. It's
Yeah.
done. I got to do it for the kid.
Yeah.
You
He
so
believes.
exactly. If he believes in me, I don't care if like 3 people on out of 10 phone calls tell me, "Oh, this is crazy. Who's gonna do this? Blah, blah, blah."
Sure.
It doesn't matter. It's noise. So if you have a passion and you wanna revolutionize something in
Hmm.
healthcare, just do it and find the people that you believe in, that believe in you, and
Yep.
a coalition and just go out there and build the world you wanna see.
Exactly. Exactly. Be the change that you want to see.
Exactly.
I love it. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. I'm going to definitely include, obviously, the link to your app, but also people can follow you on LinkedIn if that's okay. Is that okay to market for you?
One can also write me on LinkedIn. I answer
Yeah.
all messages. It might take me a week, but I do answer every single message I get.
Give your feedback, listeners. Give your feedback to so she can help grow the product.
Please.
Yeah. Well, thanks for your time today. Really enjoyed this conversation. Really had a great time.
Me too. Thank you, Ben. I enjoyed it as well.
Yeah. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.